Hey guys, it's Matt Pittman with Meat Church coming to you from my outdoor kitchen, and today I'm going to teach you guys one of my favorites, pork belly burn-ins. What we've got here today is a 12-pound skinless pork belly that I got from Prairie Fresh. It's a really beautiful piece of meat. This is a big pork belly. This will make a ton of food. Most people eat, 3 or 4 bites, so this will go a long way, and it would cost you normally probably about 35 bucks or so. You could actually cook this a couple of different ways. Some people choose to cook this thing whole, much like a brisket, and then when it's nice and tender, they'll cube it up, they'll put some sauce on it, and they'll put it back in their pit and have pork belly burn-ins. What I prefer to do is actually cut it up while it's raw so that I can season all sides of this belly and get caramelization on the entire thing. It's easiest to cut a pork belly when it's nice and cold. This just came out of the fridge. I'm gonna take my boning knife and I'm gonna make a couple slices here. Next, I'm gonna take these strips that we've cut and I'm gonna cut them into 1-inch cubes. Now that we've got these babies cut into 1-inch cubes, it's time to put some seasoning on them. And I'm gonna go with the Gospel, our all-purpose seasoning. It's a great Southwestern flavor. It pairs great with pork and it's beautiful. So you're gonna go pretty liberal with this. And we're gonna toss these cubes to try to get a nice, pretty heavy application on all sides. So now we've got a nice heavy application on here. I'm gonna let these sit for about 15 minutes and let that seasoning adhere, and then we're gonna put them on the smoker. It's been about 15 minutes, and as you can see here, the seasoning is really adhered. This is pulling the moisture out of the meat. That's what this liquid is for. At this point, I'm comfortable to put it on the pit. What I like to do is use one of these baking or cooling grids to put the pork belly pieces on. That way you can put all of your meat on 1 or 2 of these grids, open up your cooker, put it in, close it, keep it at temp. That'll keep you from having to put 40, 50 individual pieces of meat in your cooker, lose all that heat, and just make a big mess. Now when you go to place this on the cooking grid, my preference is fat up. You can cook it meat up if you'd like. I like the way this fat glistens and the seasoning adheres and melds as the fat's rendering. I think just makes a better bite, but you can put it on here however you'd like. All right, now that our grid is full, it's time to get to cooking. So today's cook's gonna be at 275 degrees. You're probably looking at a total cook time of about 2.5 hours or so. We're looking for these to be probe tender. I'm gonna cook these on a Traeger Ironwood 650. You can use any smoker you want running at that temperature. Traeger makes amazing pork belly. With this grid, we're just in one time, nice and easy. If you got a second rack, put it underneath, close it. We've barely lost any temperature. Now we're gonna come back in like an hour, hour and a half or so and check on these. We might spritz them a little bit depending how they're looking and keep monitoring them and be good to go. Our pork belly's been cooking about an hour and a half or so, so I'm gonna check it, see how it looks, and probably spritz it. Man, they look super pretty already. Gorgeous color from the Gospel. I'm gonna hit them with a little bit of cider vinegar spritz. I'm gonna keep checking these every 30 minutes or so until they're probe tender with our Thermopin. All right guys, so we've been cooking for just over 2 hours. Woo, pork belly looks real good. Visually, it looks amazing. Now I'm gonna take an instant read thermometer. This is my Thermopin NK4, and I just wanna feel it without looking at the number, and it's probe tender, so I know they're ready. If you're looking for a number on the thermometer, you're gonna look for about 200 degrees or so. I mean, these just like push right through. They're completely tender. So it's time to pull these off and sauce them. So I've made you guys a sauce today. That's my favorite barbecue sauce, cut with honey to thin it out, add a little sweetness, and then I'm gonna hit it with cherry habanero rib candy. So we're gonna have cherry habanero pork belly burnt-ends today. So you can use your kind of favorite sauce, whatever you wanna make. Gonna go ahead and just dump these right in the pan. We're gonna use a little half steam pan here to sauce these, capture all this sauce, and we're gonna put it back in the pit in just a second. I'll put the recipe for my sauce mixture down below in the comments. But what we did today was 2-to-1 Meat Mitch Womp sauce, 1 part here of this Burleson South Texas Guajillo honey, and then again I mentioned we use Texas pepper jelly rib candy. I like the apple cherry habanero. So I'd go about 1/3 of this bottle, but you just use this to your taste. You know, mix it in, try. If you want it hotter, put more in it. Now the goal here is to just coat these cubes. So, whew, man, that looks good. Think of just dipping it. This is the effect I want. Man, that looks good on all of these. But I'm gonna pour it in and just kind of toss them around. I'm not looking to have a whole bunch of excess sauce in the pan, right? I don't want an inch of sauce. I just want these cubes coated in this sauce. And I can tell you these are gonna be epic. Just toss them around a couple times, and you see there, just nice and coated, just like that. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna open the Traeger back up, same temperature, 275. We're gonna throw these back on, uncovered like this, and we're gonna let these caramelize for 30, 45 minutes, just to kind of your liking. Okay, same temperature. I'm gonna come back in 30 minutes and it's gonna be time to eat. Whoo! Tell me those don't just look sexy. Pulled them off the Traeger, they were in there for about 30 minutes, let the sauce tack up, and they look ready to eat. So we like to pair them with our cowboy candy jalapenos. I'll put the recipe down in the comments for that if that's your thing. I can't wait much longer, so we're gonna eat. This is gonna be like barbecue and dessert all in one. Oh yeah, I'm not mad about it. Apple cherry habanero pork belly. Remember, this was only half the belly, so for 35 bucks, you could have fed an army. This is a great appetizer, whether it be for a backyard barbecue, party, whatever you're having, especially paired with this cowboy candy jalapenos. If you guys like this video, subscribe to the channel. We've got lots more cooking videos coming for you guys.